The most dangerous business podcast in the world. Entrepreneurs and ambitious people, if you want to build a powerful, profitable, impactful business, if you want to study and fall in love with the process, if you want to acquire the skills, habits, and determination you need to level up in business and in life, that's fantastic because I'm working on the same thing. This is the Game of Grow movement. Welcome back. You are now listening to the Game of Grow podcast, and I'm your host, Moya Okome. Before we even get into the action today, let's try something new. I think it's going to be cool. I think it'll be kind of fun. If you're driving right now, this does not apply to you right this moment. Wait till you get where you're going first, then you can join in the fun. We do want to practice safe podcasting, but for the rest of you who are able to do this safely right now, I want to have some fun as a community. I want you to take a screenshot of your phone right now as you're listening in your podcast app. I want you to post this screenshot in Instagram on your Instagram story, and tag @GameOfGrow. And if you like, tell people a little bit about what's happening here, what you're getting from Game of Grow while you listen to the show. This is going to allow other people in your network to discover our community, benefit from the information we give out, the stories we tell, and everything we are doing here so we can continue to grow this community and impact more people, because that, my friends, that is the goal. And I will be sure to shout you out as soon as I see it. I'll definitely show you love right back. So guys, it's episode 7 of the world's most dangerous business podcast. I'm not quite sure how they haven't taken us off the air yet, but we are still on for now. So let us go. And it doesn't matter where you start or where you are right now. Where do you want to go? Who do you want to become? And what is the price you're willing to pay to get there? So real quick, guys, before we hit the review of the week, I want to announce that thanks to you guys, Game of Grow has now crossed our first 5,000 downloads in less than 4 weeks. There's a chance that we hit 6,000 in the month. And we also made it across 70 reviews, about 72 reviews. So shout out to you guys. Who's going to get us to 75 and who's going to get us to 100? Let me know. And it's all thanks to you guys. And I think I mentioned this last time. We're featured in New and Noteworthy across 6 categories and subcategories. That's business, marketing, health, self-help, education, and training. And it's all thanks to you guys subscribing, reviewing, and spreading the word. I mean, I love to think that it's because I'm just that handsome, but that is unfortunately not the reason. Maybe it should be, but it's not. And by the way, all of this helps us to make this an attractive platform for amazing people like Rohan. Episode 6, Rohan joins us. So it makes it an attractive platform for amazing people like Rohan to come share with us if and when we decide to open our platform to guests. And also, in recent goings on in my app business, after numerous setbacks and false starts, I have a couple apps that should be ready to roll soon, and I am super excited about them. We're kind of taking things to a different level, creating products for a specific community that I happen to belong to, so I'm excited about it. I also have another app in testing. It's only the first day. We're supposed to start last week with that, but analytics weren't set up correctly. You know how that goes. 4 times was apparently the charm, and now they're set up correctly, so we're getting into it. And I've never seen numbers like this. Numbers looking real good, so I'm excited. At the same time, it's only day 1, so who knows? But we got to make this one work. Guys, it's always a process, and you just kind of have to keep going until you make it. Anyway, review of the week. This week's review comes from Roberts RNBSN, who says, "Biz lessons that usually go unsaid. Thanks so much for sharing business lessons that typically go unsaid. So many in these internet streets teach the full story of just manifest and wake up to 6 figures. I love how in the maid service episode, Rohan shared, we have to choose our hard, quote unquote, choose our hard. In short, working 40 years in a job that does not allow real freedom is hard, and so is starting a business. Choose the type of hard, as nothing worth having is easy. I have made my choice. Keep up the good work, Amelia R." Thank you so much, Amelia. And guys, after you subscribe and leave your review, please email me at hi@gameofgrow.com to let me know that you did. And I actually want to throw it in a sweetener because life is about incentives, right? I don't even know if that's true, but it sounds good. So in my vault here, I have about 6 never before released super top secret conversations I've had with 6, 7, and even 8-figure entrepreneurs who happen to be friends of mine within my network, within the powerful, shadowy, and secretive Game of Grow community. So when you hit me up at hi@gameofgrow.com and let me know that you are not only a subscriber, but also a reviewer, I'm going to provide you exclusive behind-the-scenes access to these conversations, which you cannot get anywhere else. And trust me, they are full of gold that you can apply that is going to help you in your life and in your business. That's right, guys. I'm sweetening the pot. When you subscribe, leave a review and email me at hi@gameofgrow.com. I'm hooking you up with something that's really going to help you that you can't get anywhere else. I also do have one 9-figure conversation in the vault, but sorry, guys, I can't release that one. He's kind of shy. Sorry about that. So moving on. If you are new here, welcome to the show. If you're a returning grow-getter, welcome back. Either way, you could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with me, and I'll never take that for granted, so I promise to give you everything I've got. On today's episode, we are tackling another listener question. Jay from DC writes, what would you say is the number one skill or attribute needed to be a successful entrepreneur? And I love this question because, as you know, I do believe it's all about building skills. Without skills, you won't win. You can meet the right people, you can be in the right places, have all the popularity, social media followers that you want, but if you do not have the skills to pay the bills, it's all right if you don't have the skills, but you better start working on those skills. But getting back to the question at hand, what is the number one skill or attribute needed to be a successful entrepreneur? In some ways, one could say that this is kind of a gotcha question in entrepreneurship. As with anything, there are so many critical factors that come together to comprise one's success or failure. For example, we can talk about selling. If you recall, in episode 3, I talked about a quote-unquote business I started after college with an alum from my school. We wanted to change the education industry in a small way. We wanted to take the college consulting services that he was providing to wealthy families for thousands of dollars a pop, and we wanted to offer a mass market version of these for $25. And we even had fee waivers for families who needed them so they'd be able to get them for free. Everything was wonderful. The product looked nice. It generated some very pretty, maybe even useful reports. When we talked with the students, the parents, the faculty, the administrators, everyone loved the product. But when it came time to sell, we started rolling things out. I learned that we didn't actually have a viable sales and marketing plan. We didn't know how to make sales. I'd be surprised if we actually grossed more than a few $100s total after all that work and all those magnificent team lunches and dinners. And the product naturally soon died a natural death. So RIP to collegechances.com. A lot of us get started in business because we want to be creative, and creativity is important. But if you don't develop the ability to influence a customer to give you money in exchange for your thing, if you can't make sales, if you do not perform transactions, you don't have a business. What you have is an expensive hobby. You need to be able to sell, and that was a super valuable lesson. But in addition to selling, we can also talk about perhaps action taking, having a bias for action. People often think it's about money, access to capital, resources, but it's not. Yeah, some opportunities do require some more money than others, but mostly it's an excuse or a crutch that people rely on so that they don't have to act. And a lot of the time, they may not even know this. You can have the perfect plan, the perfect advisors, all the resources, everything laid out for you, and still be reasoning and rationalizing about it while somebody else is taking action with the exact same resources and information, or maybe they have even less. And at the end of the day, guess who's going to get results much faster? And I'm not just talking about this in terms of other people. I'm talking about myself too. In my own experience, when I started off with apps, even after I made a decision and I made a commitment like we talked about in episode 4, I still found myself falling into this trap as well and trying to think about the perfect idea, perfect plan, and generally just overthinking a whole lot of details that in reality had very little bearing on my success. In retrospect, my actions or my lack of actions were actually a little ridiculous based on what I was saying I want to accomplish, but I still see it all the time with other people I work with and advise. Thankfully, I was part of a community group of people who are going through the same app course together, and I was able to witness some of them moving forward, taking action, and they were getting results. And it's not even like all of their actions were of the best quality or all of their apps were masterpieces, but they were moving forward and doing things, and as a result, things were happening for them. They were getting results, they were making money, and they were getting better. Last week on episode 6, Rohan introduced us to a blueprint that's worked for him, it's worked for others. And a lot of us were fascinated and intrigued, and we started to think about it. Many fewer of us actually moved forward and took action. And by the way, that's actually why I decided to go through with the program. Do I need another thing to do and another business to work on? No, I don't. It'd actually probably be better for me to focus on what I'm already doing. But aside from the fact that I think it'll be pretty cool to start a business I have no experience in live on a podcast, I want to show you guys what it looks like to get the blueprint for success and implement that blueprint with no hesitation. And plus, I do love the fact that it's a super practical and tangible type of business everyone can understand and relate to, as opposed to the app business where sometimes people get a bit more intimidated. So yeah, guys, taking action, it is super important. But yet, that is not the number one skill we are talking about today. I could have also mentioned resilience, or perhaps the ability to deal with ambiguity. As I've alluded to or told you directly about so many of the things I've tried, they have not worked, and all of the lessons that I've learned from them. As much as it's not that much fun at the time. But even still, we can do better. We're still looking for the number one skill, the number one attribute, the number one success factor required to succeed as an entrepreneur. And I will say that this skill is kind of cheating in the same way that when a genie asks for your 3 wishes, you're always going to ask for unlimited wishes as one of your wishes, unless you're just stupid or you like to follow the rules too much. But I digress. This skill is the master key, so you do need this skill. Start working on the skill right away. But before I reveal the skill, I, of course, want to tell you a quick story. So when I was first starting out in the app business, I had no idea how to build a mobile app. I had no idea how to market them. I didn't code them. I still don't. What I did know was what I saw in front of me. I saw other people who were not special, who were no different from me. They were able to create and launch these apps that their customers could enjoy. And so they ended up having success with them. They weren't special, but they learned how to do it. They had knowledge and they had a blueprint. They learned the steps and they executed against those steps. As obstacles arose, they figured out ways to deal with them and adjusted. And if they stayed consistent enough, eventually they had success. Because I saw them do it, I knew it was possible. And if it was possible for them, it had to be possible for me. I just need to learn the steps. I need to execute the steps and then adjust on the fly. So that is exactly what I did. And eventually I started to have success. And eventually I started to have more success. But that does not mean I was set forever or that things would not change. Things always change. Later on down the road, to make a long story short, Apple made some adjustments to their platform and the way things were working. I don't even remember exactly what those changes were in this case, but my business was over-reliant on some of these factors, and so were the businesses of a lot of the people I knew. Over the course of just 2 days, the revenue I was making literally cut in half. It was shocking. I was shell-shocked. Although I was still quote-unquote doing well, I was making good money, it was shocking to me that I could lose half of my progress practically overnight. And I kind of went into a shell for a while, and I didn't want to act. At this time, a lot of the people also exited the business right around this time. Thankfully, after a bit of time passed, I was speaking with one of my friends who was also in the business, who I'd helped out in the past. And whereas where almost everyone else was in turmoil, he seemed like he was having as much success as he'd ever had, and even more. And he talked me through what he was doing at a very high level. And then he offered me a beta version of his App Store optimization course. And if you don't know what App Store optimization or ASO is, don't even worry about that. Just know that he had a different and more in-depth approach than anything I'd ever seen before. And so I paid for this course, I immersed myself, and eventually I emerged with new skills and abilities, and my business went up. Things are always going to change, and winners always find ways to deal with that change and excel. And even more recently, the app game has changed again. Many indie entrepreneurs have exited again, and yet there are some people, including some of my students, who continue to get results and excel. So how is this the case? Let me tell you another quick story. And I wrote about this one on Facebook and some other platforms. Find me at Game of Grow. So here's the story. For the last couple months, I've been working on a new app project I'm excited about because I know it will bring value to my community as well as fun, profit, and fulfillment for me. Surprisingly, it turns out these things are not always easy. Hit a big setback this weekend and was so pissed and frustrated I could barely sleep Saturday night. Anyone else get like that sometimes? Woke up Sunday morning with a new, but yet old perspective and decide to smile. Anyone trying to do anything will face resistance, but I get to choose whether to feel sorry for myself and quit, or cry about it a little and then figure out how I'll still win. Finding problems is easy, but finding solutions pays. So, which one do you think I chose? And which one will you choose next time it's your turn? Alright guys, so because you guys are my podcast fam, my Game of Grow movement fam, I'm going to let you in behind the scenes and let you know exactly what happened here. We were working on this app project, things were going great, at least I thought they were going great, and midway through, the developer I was working with decided he just could not continue. He did not have the passion for this anymore. I'm not quite sure what that had to do with anything, and frankly, he quit on me. This was a project I'd been very excited about. I'd wanted to start the year right with proper momentum. I wanted to have this done in January and ready by the time we launched this podcast, the Game of Grow podcast, so you guys could hear about it. I put money and time into this, and things were just not turning out the way I wanted here. And of course, after I stopped being a baby about the whole thing, I gave myself about a night to do this. I accepted that the whole thing was ultimately my fault as a leader, and chose that rather than look at the problem, which is a really easy thing to do, I was going to find a solution. I evaluated the options for everything I could possibly do, and then I took action and moved forward aggressively, and as a result, things are in a much better place right now, and we've been able to turn that one failing project into 2 promising projects, which we are bringing to the market in the near future. So guys, I've told you 3 disparate mini stories, but what's the point here? And what is the number 1 skill that you need to succeed as an entrepreneur? Well, that skill, and the reason for those stories, that skill would be mindset. In her book Mindset, Carol Dweck, and I would highly recommend that you read it, or at least read the first 2 chapters, Carol Dweck introduces the concepts of a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, and really dives into them deeply. But if I want to save you a whole bunch of time, I would boil it down to saying that when you embody a fixed mindset, you believe that certain skills and attributes are fixed, whether it be intelligence, mathematical skill, dancing ability, and the list goes on. Whereas when you embrace the growth mindset, you just know you can ultimately learn anything at all because human beings are the ultimate adaptation machine. Now, I'm not saying that talent doesn't matter, and I'm not saying it will be easy or that everything is equally easy for everyone, but I am saying you know that you can learn absolutely anything if you're willing to put in the work over time. As we often say on this show, the Game of Grow, it's not about where you start or where you are right now. It's about where you want to go, who you want to become, and the price you're willing to pay to get there. We are essentially talking about developing a growth mindset. And I'm not saying you have to hear me right now and be all the way there today. I mean, it would help you if that was the case. But I am saying that I do believe if you want to be an entrepreneur, this is the foundational skill which you'll want to work to develop, because it's going to allow you to unlock everything else over time. And depending on what it is you're trying to accomplish, there are going to be a hell of a lot of skills that you need to unlock. So can you guys see how this will be an invaluable skill? So guys, mindset is the thing, and we all need to work on it continually. It's that one master skill or master ability that's going to allow you to access all of the other skills. And to help you out today, I put together a little mindset starter kit. It's something I give to all of my app moguls. So guys, go to gameofgrow.com/mindset and I'm going to hook you up. We even have one that you can use on your phone's lock screen. So if and when you use it, go ahead and send me a screenshot of that. I'd also recommend, as I said, that you check out the book Mindset by Carol Dweck. And every single day, I'm posting and reposting tiny little pieces of wisdom to help you with your mindset. So check out @GameOfGrow, especially on Instagram, but also on Facebook and Twitter, and I got you covered. Which, of course, guys, brings us to the question of the week. And the question of the week is, how can I help you? And what questions do you have for me? So send in your response to hi@gameofgrow.com or the Game of Grow community, which is gameofgrow.com/community. Or you can reach me at Game of Grow on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. And finally, of course, guys, we have the fee. And I'm not talking about money because we can do a hell of a lot better than that. I'm talking, of course, about growing this community together. If you've been there before, you already know the deal. And if you're brand new, welcome once again. This is pretty easy stuff. You'll have it down in no time. And shout out to all of you guys for killing it. So for each and every episode you got value from, I ask that you bring me back one like-minded person who you know would enjoy this content and show them how to subscribe and leave a review. And obviously, I would love for you to do the same. Another way to accomplish just about the same thing, growing the community, as we talked about before, simply take a screenshot while you're listening, share it on your Instagram story, and tag me at Game of Grow. I promise to shout you out right back. It's actually a lot of fun. Full disclosure, I actually spent a good portion of my recent Amtrak ride thanking people for reviews on my Instagram stories and tagging their Instagram whenever I knew who it was. It might not sound that fun, but it was fun, trust me. Anyway, thank you to all of you guys. And with that, I will see you guys back here real soon on the Game of Grow podcast. We'd love to see you guys in the Game of Grow Facebook community. Join us at gameofgrow.com/community. To sign up for our weekly email updates from the Hustler's Corner, check out gameofgrow.com and use that sign up form at the very top of the page. There are actually 2 separate forms, and either one of them works. Put in your name, put in your email address, hit that button, and boom, you are in. Because remember, guys, it doesn't matter where you start or where you are right now. Are you willing to take the challenge and grow? DJ, drop that beat and take us out. Thank you for tuning in to the Game of Grow movement. If you'd like to hear more, head to gameofgrow.com to sign up for my weekly updates about my own journey as I create the powerful, profitable, and impactful business of my dreams. And I want to hear about your journey as well. And if you want to connect on social media, I'm at Game of Grow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. On LinkedIn, just search for my name. Don't forget to join us in the Game of Grow community, which you can search for on Facebook. And if you love the show, the biggest way you can help is to subscribe, rate, and review, and then find a like-minded friend you can help to do the same. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.